Welcome back to the final block of New Jersey Power and Politics. I'm Laura Jones. Now, if nothing else, I think most everyone agree that Governor Chris Christie is like no other governor we have seen in New Jersey, not in a long time. He has a style all his own, making no apologies. Joining me now to talk about the governor's style and all that is going on, Dr. Bart Rossi. Dr. Rossi is a psychologist, and we like to say a self-diagnosed political junkie.
That's
Good
correct.
to have you here.
Nice to be back again.
So, since he's been sworn in, what's your take on his pit bull prosecutorial style?
Well, he's a real character. I think he's a real Jersey guy, and I think his personality suits the situation. I mean, we're in tough times. He's a tough guy, a law enforcement person. I think his personality is really quite good for the situation we're in. I think it comes with some, probably a few more positives than negatives, but he's a tough guy.
Well, some of the polls are showing that his popularity is slipping a little bit, which would be typical because the budget came out. But at the national level, he's getting buzz about a possible presidential candidacy, which he said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I want to run this soundbite because it was really, I've never heard a politician, they always leave a door open, but I want to go ahead and roll the soundbite. Go ahead.
And I have absolutely no interest in running for president of the United States. None, zero interest. Zero, none, close the door, no chance, no.
So I guess the answer is definitely no.
I think it was great. I think he scores a lot of points with that kind of an approach. He's really very definitive, he's expressive, and he comes across like he really is. He's not putting on any act. Well, that's a good thing.
Well, that's what I was going to follow up with, because so many times we're so used to politicians saying one thing and meaning another. Are you seeing that at all in Chris Christie?
No, he is who he is. And I think, you know, the best politicians that we've ever seen in New Jersey, like Tom Kean Sr. and you know, some of the other folks that have done really quite well, are themselves. And he is his own person, and that's going to be an asset to him as he goes forward. I do think he's suffering, though, from what I call the Christie conflict.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he needs to be a leader, not only at the state level, but he needs to be a leader with municipalities, because that's where a lot of the money is spent. And how does he become the catalyst to inspire the municipalities to cut? And what about all of the cops? What about the fire department? What about the municipal employees? What about all the people besides teachers who need to take cuts? Is he speaking enough in that vein to really be a catalyst and be a leader? Because he's not going to be successful unless he's a leader on two fronts. And that's how I see it.
Well, make no doubt about it, he has taken on the teachers union. He says time and again, it's not about the teachers, it's about the teachers union. Right. So I want to roll another soundbite so the audience can hear if they have missed any of his shots he's taken at the NJEA. Go ahead and roll that.
When I called them the bullies of State Street, I think you see why today. Tired of you coming into our pockets all the time for more money. We are tired of government spending and spending more and more, and you got to stop.
All right, so what's your take on his feud with the teachers union?
I think it's too much. I think it's really gone to the point where it's overdone. He needs to be more expressive and have a more balanced approach and talk a little bit more about who else needs to take cuts and freezes.
I mean, being governor, you have so many things to do, and if you go back to communications classes, you know, in order to make a point or an advertising campaign, even, you know, when you talk about branding something, you know, you have to say what you mean again and again and again and keep hitting it with them until people really sinks in. So is there a logic in that? Does that make sense?
No, I think he's made his point. I think he has a point with the union. He says it's the union, but really it falls back to the teachers. And people like their teachers, so he's got a problem in that area. And I think he needs to spread the pain around and the discussion of the pain. The police, the firefighters, the municipal workers, again, the superintendents of school. I mean, are we going to merge towns and cities or not? I think he needs to be a little bit more expansive in his criticism. Otherwise, he's not going to be a leader on two fronts. He's going to be only focused in certain areas, and that's not going to work with the voters.
So when you say it's not going to work, does this mean he's not going to get reelected, or he won't be successful in what he set out to do? Because he said time and again, and we've got it on tape, and he's been printed, I'm not concerned about 4 years from now. I'm only concerned about these 4 years right now. I'm not concerned about running for re-election, and if the voters don't like me, so be it.
Well, I'll answer that by saying when we discussed him during the campaign, we talked about him not really having a plan. Well, he needs a plan now, and we're not sure what that is, actually, because he's talked a lot about teachers and the teachers union, but what about all the other expenses? How does he come across as a winner if he's only going to focus primarily on one particular enterprise, the NJEA and the teachers. He needs to be a leader in a number of different ways. There's opportunity there, but there's also risks and peril.
All right, well, make no mistake, it's been a very eventful first
Very,
100 days,
very,
and it'll
very
be
much.
interesting to see what happens the next 100
Very
as we move forward. Dr. Rossi, thanks so much for taking
Nice
the
to
time
be
to
here.
talk to
Nice
us.
to be here.
And that is going to do it for this week. I'm Laura Jones. Thanks so much for watching New Jersey Power and Politics, and we will see you next time.